Is here in Kansas City. This game a sellout for several weeks, featuring the top two teams in the AFC West. A rare NFL matchup of two winners here in 1990. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Bill Walsh. Marty Schottenheimer, coach of Kansas City, said 2 weeks off with the bye to prepare. He said the only thing left now is I can't play. Oh, would I love to play in this traditional game.
Well, this time of year, the teams with character show up. These are two teams with character, Dick.
Well, it's a team, Kansas City, and a team, the Raiders, that rely on the run, although we may see some passing. It's the runners will be featured today. The principals first for the Los Angeles Raiders. First, they have the Royal Raider. Bo is back.
Well, Bo's Jack. He'll play part-time, but Marcus Allen, to me, will be the key in this game. The old pro. He's the guy that can make people miss. I think he'll be the difference.
Last year in the NFL, the 260-pound Christian Okoye of the Kansas City Chiefs led the league in rushing. He's not been as effective this year.
Well, people are waiting for him. He's big, he's massive, he's strong. But this Raider team, they'll be all over him, I think. I think Barry Word is the key to this game. So it's Marcus Allen and Barry Word, two people that can make a difference in this ball game.
Say Word off the bench, he gained 200 yards. That's the NFL high this year against Detroit in a relief role. What kind of game will we see?
Well, I think it'll be low scoring, 17-13, somewhere in that area. Both teams run just well enough to keep running. At some point, there's going to be a pass interception, and that can be the difference.
The Raiders won the toss. And here come the Chiefs in the field. There's Bo Jackson. He'll not start. Marcus Allen will start for the Raiders. And there is the all-time rusher in Raider history. And Deron Cherry, many times an all-pro safety, injured late last season, recovering from reconstructive surgery, will play for the first time today. Marty said he expects to use him in the second quarter. Art Shell, he's brought back the tradition of the Los Angeles Raiders, the Oakland Raiders of yesteryear, and played in those great games as the 60s and 70s. And Marty Schottenheimer in his second year since leaving Cleveland, and he has brought his winning habits to Kansas City. And with a light mist falling that, well, could become rain, it will be Kansas City kicking off. The Raiders won the toss, elected to defend the goal to the west. They want to be on defense first, and we're underway in Kansas City as Nick Lowry boots it deep to Ron Brown at the goal line. The former Olympian Brown cut down at the 17-yard line. And here come the Kansas City Chiefs and Steve DeBerg. Check that Jay Schrader, Bruce Wilkerson, who will play at left tackle, Steve Wisniewski and Don Mospar, Max Montoya, the former Bengal, and Steve Wright, the offensive line. Schrader has Allen, a good blocker, and Steve Smith, speed and goal. Mervin Fernandez, big and strong. Ethan Horton, the tight end. When they go to the three wide, the fullback goes out, and former Heisman winner Tim Brown comes in. So Schrader from the 18-yard line. And it's the fullback Smith across the 20. Bill Moss leading the defensive charge along with Kevin Porter. And the defense for Kansas. And there is Derek Thomas. 10 sacks as a rookie last year. Leads the Chiefs with 7 this year. 2nd and 7. Marcus Allen. He gets out 3.
May have been a fumble, Dick.
Chiefs are saying they have it. No signal yet, except the official says no, the ball had been whistled dead. Jim Tunney, the referee. Now a possible pass situation, and in that case, the nickel for the Chiefs looks like this. Derek Thomas moving to an end position, and Martin and Cooper are the backers with 5 defensive backs. Lewis, Ross, Pearson, the veteran Burris, and Donaldson.
The Raiders have an excellent third down ratio as far as getting that first down. So this is a dramatic departure from a year ago.
And they say from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8. Jay Schrader's going to call time. He says that's not necessarily passing for us. We'll run up to 3rd and 8. So the crowd a factor, and Schrader didn't like what he saw early in the first minute and a half. We have a timeout. Let's go back as we go to commercial with this play by Allen. See when that ball shot free. Tough to read.
Really tight, yeah. But you see Marcus find that hole. He can slip between people beautifully, and he went right up over the top, trying to just get enough yardage to get close enough for a third down conversion.
And he was the first man off the field in San Diego last week to congratulate Bo when he scored a touchdown. Only Allen behind Schrader. That's Tim Brown in motion. Beautiful defensive play by J.C. Pearson. Knocked it away from Brown, and listen to this crowd. As Worthen deep for Kansas City, and these punts are going to be adventures today. The winds are swirling, and in practice we saw several balls dropped. And both kickers had trouble. Both scuffed a couple in warm-up. This one is short. And is down at the 40-yard line. And that's where Kansas City will take over. Aaron Wallace down to ground the ball. And here comes the 4 wide. Those men leave. Todd McNair, a good man out of the backfield. Emil Harry and J.J. Burton, the scoots in. Good field position across the Kansas City 40. And ENBERG comes out throwing. Dumps it to Okoye. That makes news. A 4-yard gain. Only the third pass that Okoye has caught all season. And the silver and black defense. Howie Long, Bob Golick, Scott Davis, Greg Townsend leads in sacks with 6. Robinson, Ricky Ellison, the former 49er, and Tom Benson, the backers. McDaniel and Washington at the corner. Harden and Anderson at safety. Second and a long 6. There's Townsend. He likes to tee off from that right side. Roberts, the tight end, in motion. Okoye's first carry, and he's smothered by Scott Davis.
Okoye may not be the right matchup for the Raiders because he doesn't hit the hole that quickly, and these massive Raider defensive linemen are just going to slant right to where he goes. So I again think that Barry Word is the guy that sooner or later will make the difference in this ball game.
Okoye comes out, as does Roberts, in a pass situation. Barry Ward along the sidelines from the University of Virginia. He and all the alums of the Cavaliers suffering today after Georgia Tech took away the lead in the ACC. Third down 8.
Emil Harry, Todd McNair, these are the two people critical at this point on the field.
ENBERG, down he goes. Howie Long. His third sack of the year with Greg Townsend in support.
That wasn't even close, Dick. Howie Long just came straight up the field, pushed his blocker right back into ENBERG. ENBERG might have had up to 2 seconds to make a difference. And you see Howie Long come straight up the field, no chance. And underneath that pile, you'd see naturally Townsend coming from the other side. So this pass rush will be so tough for Kansas City to deal with.
Brian Barker to punt. Tim Brown back at the 30 for the Raiders. Ball was not carrying very well right to left in warm-up. Pretty good kick. Brown at the 7. Flag down. That first block was in the back, so Brown's return out to about the 40 will be taken back on the penalty.
You know, you're almost better off in this day and age hoping that ball bounces and there isn't a return because there are so many fouls. The officials can see every guy on the field, and they're looking
from just outside their 20-yard line. Phoenix, Miami. New Orleans has struck at Cincinnati. The Bengals finally at home after that 5-game road trip. Detroit jumps ahead of the Redskins early. Here each team with an opportunity, unable to move the ball. No first downs as yet. Art Shell had an interesting comment about the emotions and how his team can deal with it today, Bill.
Well, he says the first 5 minutes, and does it make sense? The first 5 minutes is so intense. It's almost hysterical the way teams play, and you sooner or later have to settle down. And he thinks after 5 minutes, the true character will show up.
Steve Smith juggling the handoff, but hangs on for a good gain.
Smith is really an underrated player. Look at Marcus Allen going into block. But Smith's underrated because he's an excellent blocker, and he gets that job done quietly, a fine receiver, and just a change-up ball carrier. But at this point, both teams now, Dick, are starting to figure each other out. Everyone's beginning to relax and football.
Gain of 8. Smith again. So they figure that the Chiefs defense will be king on Marcus Allen. They give to Smith. And there's our first little push and shove of the afternoon. And the tradition continues. And Ethan Horton, number 88, was a #1 pick of Kansas City as a running back out of North Carolina. Didn't make it here. And the Raiders took him on as an experiment, converted him to tight end, and they like him.
They did. As a running back, his strides were too long, too close together. He could never really make people miss. But as a tight end, and with the patience that an Al Davis organization has, they just waited and waited, and now he's become one of the better tight ends in the league.
First 5 have been played, so as Art Shell would have told his team, now the next 55 will decide who really is going to win this game. First down of the game, and now a penalty on the snap. Movement before the snap, but let's see against whom. There's big Bill Moss, moved outside.
5 yards. Offense.
Delay of game.
Behind the flow of the play.
There's Montoya, a Southern California native, went to UCLA, a Plan B signee. Schrader looks deep, throws to goal, 50-yard line, first down.
That was a beautiful shot. First place, Schrader got back before the pass rush started, and he threw leaning forward, stepping into the throw, something he wasn't doing a year ago. And watch all that room he's got. Watch him step into the throw, and with all that speed down the field, Galt pushes his man back, stops, and the ball's there. Now that's the kind of Raider football we saw through the 60s and even the 70s.
Galt now with 25 catches. He had only 28 all last season, so at the halfway mark, he's about to equal his total output from a season ago.
Well, they've got Willie catching the ball going inside, which he hadn't done much for the Bears or even for the Raiders a year ago.
First down from the 50. Marcus Allen into Kansas City territory. Looked as if he might be stopped at the line of scrimmage, leaning and stumbling forward. Marcus gains almost 5 before Smith and Saliamua can make the stop.
I wonder how many times Marcus has done that, where he'll start inside, slide outside, slither through people. But Bruce Wilkerson at left tackle, playing his first left tackle position, does an excellent job of staying with his man. And Bill Moss, being a Pro Bowl player, couldn't get off the block.
There's Wilkerson, number 68 from Tennessee. First time he's ever started at left tackle. And there's 66, the other tackle, Steve Wright. Rory Graves, injured list, expected to return next week. Is Schrader going deep? And it's caught out of bounds by Willie Galt. Fine catch, but out of bounds.
Dick, these guys believe in Schrader now. Galt is making catches all year that he hasn't made in the past. Beautiful throw, just about a yard wide of where it should come down. And watch Galt and leaning way back over his shoulder, making that catch. Beautifully done. So close to being a completion. But what I see is conviction on the part of these receivers. The ball's going to get there this year.
Kevin Ross on the coverage, who's had his best games against the Raiders, and the wind drifted that ball to the far sidelines. Defense digs in. Runner pass. Ethan Horton almost intercepted. Good play by 57 Chris Martin, the linebacker from Auburn.
Horton trying to catch an out pattern. The ball was thrown late, but Martin is really one of the people you don't read a lot about with Thomas on the team, but it's beautiful coverage. Look at the quickness and reaching in, almost getting the interception.
So the Raiders do invade Kansas City territory, but now must punt as Jeff Gossett comes in.
Well, that one big completion gets that field position that can keep Kansas City bottled up. Just one big completion.
Gossett, 23 kicks this year, 8 inside the 20, and only 8 have been returned. Boy, he hits that one well. But doesn't get it out of bounds. It'll be a touchback for the Chiefs. They'll begin at the 20-yard line. Midpoint of the first quarter, no score. Jay Schrader, and he has given a lot of credit to his new quarterback coach, Mike White. There's White up in the press box, and White, much like your system, Bill Walsh, working on Schrader's footwork to get in position to throw.
Well, he's a great passer physically. It's a matter of getting confidence, getting his mechanics as efficient as he can. Mike's done very, very well at establishing that.
ENBERG and the Chiefs start from the 20. Off play action, the throw incomplete. Ball dying, and Rob Thomas was open from the Lionel Washington.
Dick, the heat was there, though. DeBerg couldn't lean into that throw because he had a Raider bracketing on either side in their pass rush.
And the Raiders, not necessarily homegrown. The starters, 7 of the 11 have been acquired from other teams. Golick, Robinson, Ellison, the latest from the 49ers, Benson, Washington, Harden, and Anderson. Only 4 of the 11 starters today drafted by the Raiders. McCoy.
That's trouble.
Caught in the backfield by Scott Davis, the 280-pound end from Illinois.
Scott came from way outside and took just the perfect angle. The perfect angle coming from the backside, and they just didn't account for him. But he took the right angle. He didn't come up the field then down the line. But Dick, you know, you talk about those Raiders being acquired. Bob Trumpy, bless his heart, he didn't think very well when I coached him. But his remarks on Plan B, some teams have really prospered from it, and the Raiders in particular, filling out different voids in their defense and in their offense, has made them one of the best teams in football in just a matter of a couple of years.
Third down 15. Shotgun, DeBerg. Screen, McNair. And he gets it to the 20. Fumbles the ball, and let's see the call. They may have been ruled that he was down at the 24, short of the first down. Eddie Anderson made the hit, and Anderson told us yesterday, eyes big and that kind of confident smile, that he was going to make somebody cough up the ball.
He is perfectly built for the position he plays. At 205 pounds, he is one of the strongest men ever to play the game for his weight, the weight ratio. Bench press 545 pounds in college at 198 pounds. Running the 40 and 4.2, just an explosive athlete, and he wants Christian Okoye. He's going to be looking for him coming up through that line.
Bad snap, and Barker does a good job of getting it off to Tim Brown. And Brown is brought down at the 42-yard line. Now the Raiders have it again. 5:41 left in a scoreless first period. Jackson, and a reminder, the second half of our doubleheader today, it'll be the Bills at Cleveland. Houston will see Warren Moon against Jim Everett, and the Los Angeles Rams in Anaheim, and San Diego plays Seattle in this competitive AFC West, and the winner of that game will figure part of the possible playoff picture. There is Vincent Edward Bo Jackson. The mother named him after her favorite TV star of Ben Casey, Vincent Edwards. Vince Edwards.
You know, Dick, switching these guys back and forth isn't the best thing in this kind of weather, because you do get warm to play the game. Your hands do get warm. You're used to handling it. It's almost like starting the game over now with Bo in there and Marcus out. Marcus just getting a feel for it, and he's out of the game. So under normal circumstances, good idea. Right now, Bo's going to have to really think about holding on to that ball.
They flank Jackson out to the left. Smith behind Schrader. Fake to Smith. Up for grabs. And incomplete, and Jackson almost stole it from 3 Chiefs.
Well, that time Steve Wright, the right tackle for the Raiders, was in a 2-point stance showing pass protection all the way. So the Chiefs safeties can see that coming all the way. And he'd stepped out. He'd stepped out of bounds.
He was out of bounds, came in, but he was out of bounds anyway, so he was...
he was out of the play from that point on. But when that right tackle shows a 2-point stance of pass protection, those safeties are back right now looking for the ball. No one was fooled because Steve Wright showed pass. And maybe later we can show the difference between that and some of the other plays.
Bo in motion. Jackson to the tight end Horton. He can't hang on. He knew he was going to take a lick, and there to greet him was Kevin Porter.
Again, Steve Wright in the 2-point stance. I can't figure that one out. He's showing everybody on the field that it's a pass play.
Wright, the veteran, has moved into that right tackle spot while Wilkerson was injured with a knee. Now Wilkerson has returned. Wright stays at right tackle. Wilkerson replacing Rory Graves, who was injured at left tackle.
But those safety men, in fact, those defensive backs can see those offensive linemen. And if they're up in a pass protection position, they can tell it's a 90% chance of pass. There's Steve Wright right in the middle of the screen in that two-point stance I was discussing.
Schrader hit as he delivers, incomplete to Willie Gault. Neil Smith putting on the heat.
People just have to keep their poise in a game like this. Maybe those defensive linemen can get upset, but everybody else has got to execute, has to execute. Now here's Smith coming around the outside. He's pretty well blocked. I don't see what he'd be upset at in that case. He looked like he was man at right.
It's 11 seconds left in this first quarter. Neither team able to generate much of an offense. That's what the Chiefs do best. Kevin Porter, 27, blocked it for the Chiefs. Their fifth this year.
Kevin Porter was not touched. It's hard to believe because he didn't fool anybody by where he lined up. You can see him come right through like this, and the block go down to this side of the field. So Kevin Porter, untouched, comes right down the middle of the punter. There isn't anywhere to go. If that punter is pushed from the outside, he can move. But coming underneath Schottenheimer, Kurt Schottenheimer, special teams coach, of course, brother of Marty Schottenheimer, is, of course, ecstatic. That's what the special team coach is there for.
And the Chiefs take over at about the 17-yard line.
A play pass
to Koye, and the throw back the other way to McNair. He slips on this wet carpet at the 16-yard line.
Well, that's the strategy, Dick. I really like to see. They get that turnover, and right back they come with a play pass, and Steve DeBerg's going to play pass with McNair coming through and breaking to the outside. Steve DeBerg faking here and throwing, and it was a tight play. They didn't completely fool everybody, but you'll see him come all the way across the field and get the ball. So well done. They got part of the yardage they needed, but not as much as they expected.
The slip by McNair cost him a couple of yards, so it's 2nd and 8. Whistle blows it dead before the snap.
It looked like the Raiders were going to destroy that play if the whistle hadn't gone.
It's 5 yards and still 2nd down.
David,
the defense that he's coaching.
After the penalty, second along 13, and the quick pop, and McCoy can't split the middle as Bob Golick, the veteran nose tackle, was there.
Golick came low on Okoye, and consequently there wasn't any real strength there to get it off. See, he came low, and that when you come low like that, that size differential doesn't make any difference.
And Greg Townsend was the man made the initial hit. Ball at the 18-yard line, 3rd down and 11. Trying to capitalize on the block punt, the 5th this year for that Kansas City special teams. And again, the ball thrown toward the sidelines, intended for Page, but that wind carrying it wide as it did for Schrader going the other way, and the Chiefs will have to settle for a field goal attempt.
Well, the Raiders were right on the primary receiver. Tight coverage, bump and run, man-to-man. That's one of the toughest throws, that out pattern against tight bump and run coverage.
And the Raiders have been the toughest defense in the league to score against. They've allowed 9 total touchdowns, but only 7 by the defense. No team has been better. Now here's Nick Lowry, one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, and he tries one from 36. And Kansas City takes the lead. Atlanta likely to see a lot of low-scoring games today. Nick Lowry, the kickoff to Ron Brown and Jamie Holland. Great speed on the return for Los Angeles. It's Brown at the 2. Oh, down he goes at the 14, trying to make the cut. Let's go back to that last play by Kansas City, Bill.
This is really tough coverage right out here. Look at Lionel Washington come up the field with his receiver, and there'll be no room really to clear that out. You see how close that ball is right there? That's just too tough a pass for ENBERG, especially in these weather conditions.
Ron Cherry, boy, what a moment for him. He's watched this entire season, rehabilitated a severe knee injury, reconstructive surgery. Here's a leader of this team, 31-year-old Cherry, many times All-Pro. And there goes Bo, and a fumble recovered by Kansas City. Albert Lewis had it pop right into his arms.
Well, Bo comes right up the middle, full bore. Cherry doesn't hesitate a bit. Look at that tackle, right into the ball, right into the ball. And Dick, what we talked about before, Bo Jackson fumbling, and there it was. This is only his second week of football, and he's playing on this hard surface, and he's playing against a team that is inspired. The ball's just knocked loose. What a play by Cherry.
How about that return for Cherry? We talked to him yesterday, Friday, and he said it's made him appreciate how lucky he is to be a player. And on the very first play, he forces a turnover. And now ENBERG leading 3-0. Down he goes. And the pressure comes from Scott Davis and Bob Golick. Golick just pushing his man back, and Davis finishing the job.
Well, that Oakland, I say it, just think field goal at this point.
3-0. 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Okoye fumbles the ball, and I believe the Raiders have it. It looked like Howie Long was right down at the bottom of the pile and may have squirted away, and the Chiefs falling out of it. Yep, the Chiefs did get it. Third down.
Well, it's the other
Mike Webster was there.
Talked about before the game. Okoye fumbling and Jackson fumbling. Both are big, powerful guys, and they're not flexible like Marcus Allen. So Okoye comes in and just gets hit clean, and the ball just drops right out. You can see that.
Oh, Long had it, and Webster just stole it away from him. Couldn't quite get a good grip on it, Howie, and Webster quick for the opportunity.
The Chiefs have to get part of it back here to assure themselves of a field goal.
3rd and 16. And a whistle. No play. Flag thrown by the linesman across the way.
Looked like the snap was late.
False start. Number 77. It'll still be 3rd down.
Clean pass, most likely here. Nope.
Underneath, flags go down. Pickup of about 8 and 2 flags. One where you would suspect offensive holding, and another where you would expect something against the defense. Jim Tunney will sort it out.
Well, Art Shell said 5 minutes, Dick. It's been more than 5, and neither team has settled down. We've almost had a full quarter of football, and it really shows up in the passing game. The timing is off. The quarterbacks are holding the ball too long.
Offsetting fouls, holding, 72 offense, illegal use of the hands, defense, hands to the face, penalties off. It'll still be 3rd down.
Meanwhile, a leader of that Raider defense. Now in his 10th
Jackson,
year.
Dick, he and Bo Jackson become very close.
Little shovel pass, and McNair will get to the 30-yard line, and that is all. So it'll be a test of about 47, 48 yards for Lowry into a 48.
Well, in practice on Friday, he was hitting 50 yards, just one right after another.
Good snap, and he really hit it hard. He's got it. Lowry 6, the Raiders nothing. 51 yards. Kansas City on offense, -1 yard, and yet the Chiefs lead 6-0.
Well, they get those big special teams play, the fumble, and can't do anything with it, but they do get 6 points.
Block punt leading to the first Lowry field goal of 36 yards, and then the 48-yarder after Bo Jackson's fumble. As Raiders president and that awkward title of the general partner, he's just the boss. They ought to just put the boss. No owner that knows this game any better. One of
well, you know,
many rings, the 3 diamonds for the 3
talking to
Super
Steve
Bowls.
Ortmeyer before the game, he says Al Davis is more into this season than any season he's seen since he's been with him. So Al's involved in every factor in this game.
Jamie Holland with flags flying. He stepped out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. Holland from Ohio State.
You know, it's an excellent blend with
Quarter in this, the year of sexual harassment in the locker room and the problems with men and women. And
what are you going to do with that?
well, you know, the NFL has come out with their answer. These are just look how smart this is.
Okay.
You know, this can be used. You can use this almost in any locker room you want to go into. And
Well,
it's
I
got a
might
little
just,
Velcro
wear
job
this-
here. I think, and in the weather conditions, it's you.
I might wear this home. You know, it's helpful.
That's NFL marketing, not the NFL office itself, who has sent these robes and little wraparounds to all the teams. I figured that maybe there's money to be made. Bo Jackson up the middle for short yardage, and Dan Saliamua, the concrete man from Phoenix, Arizona, one of the tacklers for the Raiders.
Bo is running tough and physical. In one sense, he's going to break tackles. In another sense, he's vulnerable to fumble the ball because there's 2 very severe objects ramming into each other, and that ball can pop out.
That was an interesting, insightful piece on the pregame show with O.J. Simpson on Bo Jackson, who has, obviously, you could just sense the deepness of the feelings that he has about not having a full-time father as he grew up. And now with 3 children of his own, feeling so responsible to give them that. Here comes Bo, and he's at the first down sticks and across the 25, be close to a first down. Ross made the tackle.
The defense could see that coming all the way. Bo's in motion. The ball's pitched to him. Nobody's fooled. But look at the sheer power he's got. He takes everybody back, right starting there, takes everybody back 5 yards by the time he placed the ball down.
Said he prefers playing on natural turf. This is the exact same turf that they have in his other home base, Kansas City Royal Stadium, which is about a Bo Jackson home run from where he stands right now. Same carpet. First down, and it's Smith jabbing his way to about the 29-yard line. Dino Hackett, who is the top tackler again for the Chiefs, makes the stop. Number 56.
Well, Hackett and Snow, both inside linebackers, are big and they're strong. Hackett, the leading tackler, takes him right down the middle, but he didn't wrap him up. But this is becoming really just a head-to-head physical matchup with the opposing lines really dominating the game at this point. 51 tackles.
Second down, a short 7. And it's the same play. Jackson in motion, taking the pitch, and no gain. Read well by Neil Smith, held his ground.
Well, it's easy enough to see that one coming. I think everybody knew who was going to.
Buffalo's on their way perhaps to the Orange Bowl. 3rd and 7. 3 wide receivers and Marcus Allen. Allen up the middle. Big hole. But he can't get the first down as they gang tackle Allen. No fumble. Chris Martin finishing the job. Been on the play as well was J.C. Pearson. So the Raiders have to punt.
That was a good call. That was really a close call, but a good one. And Marcus just was half a man from getting that first down. If he could have just broken that tackle at least partially, he'd have gotten his first down.
Nasworthen goes back to the 25-yard line. And Gossett will punt again. Undoubtedly, some of the communication involving it. Don't take any chances. The wet ball, wet weather. When in doubt, let it bounce. 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Oh, close. to the 34-yard line, and J.J. Burton, number 88, was the man who almost blocked Gossett again. Timeout.
Look like the best in football, and next week one of the poorer teams in the league can dominate.
After the punt, it's the Chiefs. They've mustered no offense in this first half. McCoy, this is a big gain for them, all the way to the 42, about an 8-yard play. Mike Harden made the tackle.
That was a few times you'll see Okoye bounce, and when he did bounce, he got just enough room, just enough of a channel between people. You see him go all the way outside and right up between people for the yards. Alfredo Roberts did a fine job of blocking there and sustaining it, but they don't expect Okoye to bounce at all. They want to funnel him back inside, then everybody jump on him.
Second and short, Okoye again. Boy, he moves the pile there, and it's the first Chief first down. Let's go to halftime for all the scores and highlights. And this, as Bill Walsh predicted, the defensive ground game oriented. A couple of field goals, the difference. Okoye running tenderly and tentatively to the 49-yard line, protecting the football.
Bob Golick penetrated quickly. It looked like he was offsides, but he penetrated quickly, and the ball may not. Well, that was quick, but he gets penetration, but he still can't get Okoye. He still can't do much about it. But the Raiders are going to be coming after people, trying to split the gaps, trying to get there before Okoye can get any momentum build up.
From the 49. And it's Christian Okoye again. And he's starting to do some plowing to the Raider 46. First time the Kansas City has crossed midfield with their offense.
Okoye is showing a little bit of agility here. Sort of
limping a bit, did Okoye, finally picking up some yards. Apparently it was just because of his shoe, nothing serious. 3rd and 1. Jones with Barry Ward now, number 23, the tailback. And it's Word off tackle, first down as he gets inside the 45.
Boy, those are tough yards. A lot of people running into each other for just 3 and 4 yards here and there. But that play pass.
Make sure you see the ball.
They'll be trying to read those offensive linemen to see if this runner.
Word stays in and gets nowhere. Greg Townsend into the backfield, number 93, to make the stop.
Both safeties at the
city lineup. They're about due for a play action Okoye on the throw. Nope, Okoye keeps it, and he's to the 41-yard line. And we talked about DeBerg's faking ability, Bill, and the fact that
has worked out very, very nicely for the Chiefs. This is the tough combination. The shotgun turning against this Raider pass rush.
Raining much harder now, 3rd and long. And wide open, incomplete. Burton was 5 yards clear, but DeBerg trying to read the speed of receiver and the wind conditions and the rain, just a little strong with his arm.
Doran was completely fooled, and it looked as though he tried to jump on a play breaking in and then lost his footing on this field. And you'll see him coming up the field inside, and he just loses his footing. Trying to play very, very physical to the point that it almost cost him 6 points. This was a big play for the Chiefs. And Steve knows just that foot or two may have made the difference in the outcome of this game.
Here comes Brian Barker, kicked at Santa Clara. Jim Brown, Notre Dame, back at the 10. Bad kick, end over end and short. Takes a little Kansas City bounce to the 15-yard line. Timeout, 6:07 left in the half. A crowd of over 78,000 sold out. Some of the seats not used, but these are good fans who are happy with what is developing here with the Chiefs. Here are the Raider possessions, 5 already, and 2 in disastrously a block punt and a fumble by Jackson that led to the 2 Kansas City field goals, 6-0. 6:07 left first half. Marcus Allen in motion from the 15, Schrader. Mervin Fernandez can't hang on at the 41-yard line. Kevin Porter made the hit.
Well, they'd wanted that. The Chiefs have had one, and DeBerg overthrew it. This one, Fernandez doesn't handle it. You only get a few of those in this game.
1 for 8. Fernandez grabs this one, and it's a first down as Albert Lewis trips him up at the 28-yard line. That's his 31st catch of the year. He leads Los Angeles. Fernandez came from the Canadian Football League, where he was an MVP.
The guy that can get that pass all the way down the field. Now you're going to have Galt, who will go for the deep one primarily, but Fernandez is, I hate to use the word workhorse because he's far better than that. He's a star player, but he can get everything done. You see 200 pounds, 6'3". He can catch any style or form of pass, and they depend on him heavily.
And runs so well after the catch. It's time for the tight end. Horton wrapped up and pushed out of bounds. Porter at the 32-yard line.
The Raiders are still groping, or not groping, but searching for the best way to move this football. And it looks as though now they've decided they want to throw short, try to control the ball with that form of their offense.
Injury on the play, and it appears to be one of the Raiders. Don Mospar gets up slowly. Nope, not Mospar. He's all right. He's up. One of the interior linemen, Steve Wisniewski.
Oh boy.
Big Archell coach, not so big now, under 300 pounds. He lost 45 pounds. There's Wisniewski, who went to Penn State and recruited the starting guard rookie Dave Zott of Kansas City, who followed and took his position in the Nittany Lion line. Wisniewski, one of the fine young offensive linemen.
This is the ultimate guard, Wisniewski. It's a prototype, the guy that'll be a Pro Bowl player 7 or 8 times. But Zott from Kansas City, very similar.
Both built about the same.
Yeah, Zott was a wrestler, and when we get a chance to look at him, we can talk about it.
Second down, short 7.
Tim Brown's a key, the man in that slot position at the top of the screen. He's their key guy. He's the man they want to throw to.
And Marcus is down the bottom of your screen, split far left. And they throw to Allen. Incomplete. It was out of bounds anyway. Porter on the coverage.
Dick Jay threw that unnecessarily. Marcus couldn't get open because his defender
has thrown 8 touchdowns this year with only 3 intercepted. 3rd and 7. Incomplete to Galt. That's what you're talking about, Bill Walsh. The Galt now going over the middle, something that he didn't like to do or was asked to do the last few years.
He loses his concentration. Willie just doesn't catch the ball that well with his hands out in front of him. So we just lost enough concentration.
4th punt, and then 1 block makes 5.
Here they come again.
That time it was Albert Lewis who was the master of the block punt, and a good Raider roll to the 22-yard line as we go to a commercial break. Albert Lewis fly in.
He sells out. This shows you how inspired this team is. Look at him.
Teams, sometimes it helps if you got one wheel in the sand. Boy, you're really into it. They almost need to wear pads.
Well, he has done a fine job because this special teams group is made up for any other deficiencies this Chief team has. They're all over you on special teams.
And when you play the Chiefs, you have to spend practice time on protecting that punter. Chiefs with the ball at the 21-yard line. Outside, Scott Davis, and McCoy stumbles to the 22, and they steal the ball, but after the whistle.
That was orchestrated offsides, as you know, Dick. We speak with Steve ENBERG. Steve is a master at changing his cadence, the inflection of his voice, just at the right time. The whole thought was to slow down this Raider pass rush, and this time he used the ball was snapped on. Center will naturally snap the ball. Now that's orchestrated, but he has to warn his team in the huddle about it, or they'll be offsides.
McCoy trying to get wide, runs right into Davis, who makes another negative play for Kansas City. And that's what has concerned Marty Schottenheimer in the first half of this year. Too many negative plays, minus yardage.
Well, their base play, and this is it. They found that 1 out of 5 were going for nothing or for a loss. And here's Scott Davis taking Zott right with him into the ball as Davis improved. You know, he came out of the University of Illinois. Mike White, by the way, coached him there. And he was a big, rugged guy, but people were worried about his dedication, how he would concentrate, a lot of error. And the Raiders have molded this guy into a Matusak-type athlete.
With a sack today, he has 5. He's made a couple other tackles behind the line of scrimmage. #1 pick 2 years ago by the Raiders. McCoy protecting the ball. It's about 5 to the 25, and that'll be 3rd and 6 for Kansas City. Dave Zott, we talked about him, number 79 at guard, the rookie from Penn State.
Right next to Webster, he's coming off, and they're doubling goalie. Any athlete, if they've wrestled, you know there's a lot there character-wise, training habits, and then the balance and body control.
On 3rd down, DeBerg searching, and it's incomplete. Broken up. And the fans want a penalty, and now a very late penalty on Terry McDaniel. And it may just be wet and cold and get trouble getting into that back pocket for the linen, but
Pass interference. Defense, number 36.
Well, we could sit and quarrel with these calls all day. That one looked a little questionable. The ball was thrown late, and both of them had to stand there and wait for it. Now there's Holt there at the line. They're fine. Now the ball should have been thrown a long time ago. Now it gets there. That was awfully close. And that, though, Dick, will be the kind of thing that can make the difference in a game like this where there are, at this point, no touchdowns.
Nearing the end of the first half, 2:28 to go, 6-0 Kansas City. Out of the backfield, Bill Jones didn't get to handle the ball very much. Jones, who is an outstanding blocker, he played at Southwest Texas State after transferring from.
A lot of zone defense to stop the run.
Kansas City struggling on offense, 27 yards, and a flag again before the ball is snapped.
Again, Okoye looked like he'd be
5 yards.
Okoye looked like he'd be taken care of that time, but DeBerg coming out the other side, I'm sure he's checking for that naked, they call it. That.
Second and almost 13. Quickly to the tight end Roberts.
In the zone.
And he's out to the 37.
See the zone defense, Dick. Everybody saw that ball thrown and we're going for it. There are, let's see, four Raider defenders in that area. Townsend, McDaniel, all.
3rd down and 7. Not much out of those 6 completions for DeBerg, and there's the 2-minute timeout. So this first half in the rain in Kansas City comes down to 2 cheap field goals. Teams number 1. Well, McDonough says that the Collegians may get a break next year. Get back to those headlines for you, and look ahead to the halftime show is Steve DeBerg on 3rd and 7. Underneath, to Stephon Page, can't pull it in. Page, the leading receiver, does not have a catch in this first half.
Both these teams are hitting
before halftime. Oops, troubles with the snap again, but Barker skids one away to Tim Brown at the 33. Gets by 3 and still on his feet, and flags go down as he's tackled at the 38-yard line.
On the return, there's a penalty on the flag.
And back to our NFL headlines.
3, he's in pretty decent field position, 25-yard line. A lot of speed at receiver.
Good protection. And over the middle was Fernandez. No, that's the tight end Horton at the 42-yard line. And a first down. The Raiders have used 1 timeout. That was very early in the game. Remember, with the noise Schrader calling time. So he has 2 remaining, 1:25, the clock running.
Come on, Jay, get going.
To Galt. Good catch, and he hangs on at the 40. Then he fumbles. Let's see what the call is. He was down at the Chiefs' 45, a first down. The clock running all this time while they argue.
just taking too much time. Come on. Now Galt made a nice play there. Schrader threw it late. There was a corner coming up. The defensive back inside him. He still caught it.
Down to 43 seconds. A lot of time used between plays by Schrader. Galt can't get this one as he's whacked by Kevin Ross.
Going up for a ball. He's small and explosive.
Leonard Griffin comes in as a down lineman to rush the passer for Kansas City. Percy Snow is out. Horton over his head at the 20-yard line. Best conditions of the first half. 3rd and 10. They pick up the blitz, but the pass sails wide. Looks as if Schrader lost his grip on that one.
Well, he wanted Fernandez, but Lewis was right with him. I think they should run that out pattern deeper, Dick. They only run it about 15. If they ran it 20, that would give Fernandez a chance to turn Lewis before he broke back.
Player is back, so they'll put 10 men up on the line of scrimmage and back off in case it's a fake. They don't want to give up a first down here, so Gossett has a free leg. Aims it beautifully to the coffin corner and out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Reminder, kickoff. It's the Raiders of the 70s. And the bird from his 2-yard line. No, he hands it off to Okoye, and he's out to the 3-yard line. And that's probably the last play. Well, the Raiders have called. And a fumble by Bo Jackson leading to the 2 field goals.
Well, neither team's been able to establish anything, run or pass or anything. And both have had one chance for a big play and missed it.
Now, the Raiders will call timeout again. You saw DeBerg just kneel down, and that's what we're going to get again. Offense that generated very little. A plus for KC, and now they snap just to chew up the 10 seconds and get on to the intermission talks. Mike Webster gets it to DeBerg, and the players get it on to the locker room. So a block punt for 1 field goal, a Jackson fumble for another. 6-0 Kansas City, because the Raiders won the toss and elected to kick off to start the game. The Chiefs get the ball again to start the second half. Todd McNair bounced down at the 27-yard line. It's a confidence about this Los Angeles team that is very positive.
Well, Al Davis had dinner with him last night. He just simply said, we can play anybody in the league in the big game, as he calls it.
That one sailing right over Worthen's head, and fortunately he didn't touch it, and it goes out of bounds, and so the Chiefs will get excellent field position at the 40-yard line.
Kansas City will take the ball over 40-yard line.
Well, they start from the 40-yard line, and the kick out of bounds. So they've been penalized 5 for the offside, and that's why up from the 35 to the 40 and out of bounds. Okoye getting the call initially for only a couple, and they just have him smothered. There's so little there for the big fullback.
Well, there'll be a big play pass coming up pretty soon, and that'll be the Chiefs' chance to get in that end zone. That'll be their one big chance.
Barely 2 yards of carry for the man who himself was an outstanding NCAA Division II athlete. He had 17 titles in the discus, shot put, and hammer, and also won 100 meters and 200 meters. So a big man with strength who could run fast. Barry Ward replaces him. Delay. Ward outside. Daniel coming up from corner to topple him, assisted by Ricky Ellison, and a flag is down.
Pocket holding, 79.
Oh, the rookie Dave Zott, who has his hands today with how he line, and an all-A student as well, and an inspiration to him.
Very, very bright young man, very successful.
Marty loves it. Second and long. Dump off to McNair and read by McDaniel. He was waiting right there.
I'll tell you,
made some hits.
Those Raiders are hitting. I'll tell you. And once that begins to run through the squad, a lot of guys that normally wouldn't start hitting. And this is what Art Shell talked about, and the peer pressure. In other words, his teammates expect McDaniel to make that hit, and nothing less is satisfying. And as soon as the players themselves demand a lot of each other, expect it, then everybody really can rise to the occasion.
20. Down the middle, almost intercepted by McDaniel, who was all over the field in that series. Boy, what a series for McDaniel from Saginaw, Michigan, and the University of Tennessee.
He cuts underneath Thomas, all the way around the corner, underneath him, so it takes a perfect pass. And this time it went to McDaniel, who wasn't really in position to catch it. He was working too hard to stay up with Rob Thomas.
Would have been his first interception of the year. Nothing for Kansas City again on offense, and here's Barker with his 5th punt.
You know, it's not only that it's cold today, Dick, but these teams haven't practiced in it either. Kansas City, this is the first flush of cold weather.
Tim Brown lets it bounce, and he'll take a Kansas City roll for a while, and then down at the 33-yard line. That's right. When the Chiefs and Raiders were here on Friday, it was 75 degrees. Now well sold out, but about half the year we well could have snow later this afternoon here in the Midwest, as there is to our west lots of snow. The Raiders first possession, second half, trailing 6-0, and it's Bo Jackson turning the corner and dropped at the 40-yard line by Kevin Porter.
It's pretty good by Bo. The one thing that Kansas City didn't want is him bouncing outside. And both Thomas and Martin, the outside linebackers, who are really quick, swift, quick athletes, were told all week and drilled all week not to let this happen, not to let him get outside. And there he goes. He gets a shot to get out there. And Kevin Ross was even hooked inside.
Yeah, it's a great block by Steve Smith. Just buried Ross. Comes the Royal Raider again for a yard at the 41.
Oh, that's a tough play to run, because that defensive back is sitting there. As soon as he sees that ball pitched or a lineman pull, he's across that line, and there wasn't anywhere for Bo to go.
Kansas City Royal outfielder Jackson hit 28 home runs this year and missed a whole month of the season.
Well, you'll see this action immediately when that ball is pitched, and that in itself cost Bo any chance. You see exploding in there, cutting everything down. Beautiful job.
3rd and 1. Bo, his series, and he has the first down, it appears, across the 43-yard line. And the Hurts. Raiders trailing here in Kansas City on 2 field goals and have a first down at their own 44. Underneath to the tight end Horton. Oh, missed tackle by 57 Martin, and out to the 50 goes Horton. So he turned a 2-yard gain into a 7-yard play.
You know, the Horton experiment, so to speak, him going from a running back to a tight end position isn't new to the Raiders. Todd Christensen, NBC Sports, was a fullback and became an all-pro tight end, all the way back to Hubert Dixon, who I coached with the Raiders a long time ago, who was a fine fullback for many years, moved to tight end, became a good tight end for 2 or 3 years before he retired. So this isn't new to Al Davis, these kind of changes.
Schrader on 2nd and 3, play action, and he's going deep to the speedster Gold. Intercepted. And he can return it, Albert Lewis. Out of bounds at the 20, and you saw the clip, no question about that.
I thought there was pass interference down the field, Dick, before that ball get there. It looked like Galton was...
Barry Ward is in at fullback. Bill Jones, the blocking back. And it's Ward. And Ward is defense that he hit from the Raiders.
The contact on that field.
Greg Townsend having a big game. He's known for rushing the passer, but he's been in on a lot of tackles. Kansas City running game.
I haven't seen the Raiders play this kind of defense for many years, to be honest with you. They're all good defensively, but this team is intense and physical. Townsend coming underneath the tight end, and Hayes just can't get it done. The other guy is Benson, number 54, who's very quick. Now there's Greg Townsend, their best all-around lineman from the standpoint of pass rush and pursuit.
2nd and 10. The quickie is complete to Page. The first catch of the day, and it'll be a first down. 11 yards.
Terry McDaniel gave Page all the room he wanted. You see McDaniel running back into a zone defense, giving Page that inside break. Now that's what you give up in the zone. They want to see the ball, stop the run, but some of those kinds of quick slanting passes get there before the defender responds.
Page, the leading receiver for Kansas City this year again. First down at the 21. Ward. Outside, and that's something that Okoye, as you pointed out, can't do quite so well.
Ward accelerated that time, and he got an extra 5 yards where Okoye would have been trapped much earlier. Ward is a real talent. Of course, he proved it with that 200-yard game against Detroit. But now you watch him stretch this, get past Benson, and get up the field, and if they can hold that defensive inside and let him bounce, maybe that's the answer.
7 yards on the play for the 235-pounder. Ward, he gets it again. And he gets some big yardage. That's the biggest play of the day for Kansas City. $15 yards.
Well, this is just a little more active than Okoye, going over the top of this. Now that acceleration, and he splits those tacklers. He had people waiting for him, and he split them and broke through them for what it would have been, maybe 6 or 7 more yards.
Ward is averaging over 6 yards a carry, 316 yards on the season coming in, number 2 to Okoye. The New Orleans Saints third-round pick 4 years ago. Protecting the ball, gain of about 3. Let's go to New York. Boy, that Cunningham, he'll rank with any of the athletes in this league.
When he takes off and runs, he looks like Willie Gault as far as his strides are concerned.
6 minutes left, third quarter.
There's the play pass.
There's the naked boot by DeBerg, and he dumps it off to the tight end who loses the ball. Jonathan Hayes out in the clear at a first down in Raider territory.
I see those Raiders, they call me Dad. Because Ricky and I have a good relationship. Every time he sees me, he won't want to talk, so Howie Long is all over him whenever he sees him. And Ricky and I are talking. Ask if I brought any cookies with me.
Ellison's papa, huh? 3rd and 7. Got a man incomplete. Broken up by McDaniel again. Denying Rob Thomas.
That was just good defense and a late throw. DeBerg late, McDaniel all over his receiver and timing it right this time. He's trailing him, waiting for this turn in. Now watch him make that play. It's perfectly timed and well coached because he reaches in with a right hand and doesn't try to get that left hand in there.
DeBerg averaging about 4 yards of completion. He's 8 for 15, but only 33 yards. Barker. It's the best punt of the day for him, chasing Brown inside his 10. And tackled at the 17-yard line, and flags are down. 46-yard kick. Brian Barker, who replaced Kelly Goodburn after the first couple of games this year. He's a big baseball fan, spent a lot of his summer nights over at Royal Stadium cheering for Bo Jackson.
Another flag. How many a day? I haven't kept track, but it seems like every punt has been a flag thrown, or virtually every kickoff.
Half the distance to the
back, number 42, during the return, the distance of the goal line.
This Chris.
You know, it wouldn't be John bad. The Raiders also the first tiebreaker, division record 4-0, where Kansas City 2 losses, no wins in the division. They need this one. Leading 6-0, 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter, and the crowd trying to help the defense. Schrader from his end zone. Fernandez breaks a tackle as he so does and gains 6 on the play.
Fernandez bobbled that ball. If it had bounced up, trouble.
Swervin Mervin from San Jose, California.
The Raiders have to get up to field position at this point, Dick. We've still got plenty of time left, but neither team's moving the ball well enough. And if the Raiders punt from this part of the field, that'll give the Kansas City Chiefs a chance to get one more field goal. I think 9 points would win it.
Goal to the left, Fernandez right. Marcus Allen now the tailback. He gets the call. Ooh, he had trouble with a handoff, but clutches the ball and has the first down across the 15-yard line. Or, well, let's wait on that. They spotted right at the yardsticks. They may need to measure. Let's go to the Hertz ticker. Green Bay still leading the unbeaten 49ers. Miami apparently going to go 7-1. At least they're on course. Still 14-7 at Cincinnati.
That'll give Miami a heck of a battle.
3rd and inches. Smith, the fullback. I don't know. He skidded forward. They're going to give a good spot here, but barely made the first down. He did. Yes, Jim Tunney signals first down.
It looked like he was stopped and made that second effort.
Dino Hackett, 56, meets him at the line of scrimmage, but can't drive him back as the 240-pound Smith. Disappointing shot.
Marcus Allen did a nice job on Derek Thomas blocking. That Marcus Allen's got a heart.
Marcus Allen now is split way to the top of your screen. And they bring Gold in motion. Underneath the other way to Fernandez, and a first down across the 30.
Well, they loaded up everything on the far side of the field and left Fernandez all by himself against that zone defense. Both teams have had a shot at that zone defense with a slant. You'll see pretty decent coverage initially, but then Ross allows Fernandez underneath for that slant ball.
Well, Fernandez on that picture really showing the strength to hold on to the ball. He was sandwiched hard on the tackle. Snow coming from one side and the other, and Albert Lewis comes limping off, holding his leg, and is replaced by J.C. Pearson. First down Raiders, under 3 minutes left, third quarter, 6-0 Kansas City. Smith and the big fullback to the 35, and we go, well, many miles. I'm not going to get into that with you, Bob Costas, for this report. Bob, keep that cider hot for me.
Everybody's cruising against the Pats this year. That's not very. That's not new from here.
Not an original line. Schrader looking deep for the speedster. Gold. Oh, his fingertips. It was there.
He started a slant move and bent out, and then his speed took over. And Ross just couldn't stay with him. Beautiful throw. You only get so many of those, and I'm sure they've been setting up. See that move? Then back out, and Ross gets turned. Beautiful pass pattern. Oh, just over the 6 inches from maybe the ball game. And you don't get that many chances in a game like this.
Gold, who made the All-Century University of Tennessee team, along with his teammate Bruce Wilkerson. The fact that Gold is willing to go over the middle is going to help set up that particular fake move and get him deep.
Well, he got that one earlier. And
now 3rd down 6 and Fernandez in motion. Schrader. Watch out. And Derek Thomas finally gets him out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
Well, he should have run there. It was pretty obvious to all of us. At one point, maybe he couldn't have made it. Maybe he could have by running, but when he didn't, that stopped the drive.
Well, Thomas, they've done a good job blocking him out of the play. In fact, they had him blocked 10 yards behind Schrader, but he didn't give up.
Block everybody.
Worthen at his 25. 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Oh, Albert Lewis again, very close. A good kick by Gossett. And there's the break for the Raiders at the 25-yard line. Recovered Elvis Patterson.
Well, this kind of game, the breaks are the difference. And it comes at the strangest time because the Raiders, having problem with their punt, now get possession of the ball.
Boy, you talk about field position. Their drive started at the 5. They move it up into the 40, and then they get the muff punt by Worthen right through the wickets, and Patterson at the 25. Now, the Chiefs...
It had to come right to Patterson. It just bounced right into his lap.
Now, the Chiefs had 2 breaks. Could only get field goals. Now the Raiders, a touchdown, and they have the lead. 1:50 to go in the 3rd period. Declined. 2nd and 10 at the 26. Down to 5 seconds on the play clock. Got it off at 1. Over the middle, and Albert Lewis knocks it away from Mervin Fernandez. Boy, Lanky, about the tallest cornerback in the league is Lewis at 6'2", almost 6'3". The Greyhound, they call him.
Fernandez gets underneath, but Lewis is an exceptional athlete. Well, the Raiders come up. This is the key play of the game for the Raiders. They've got to get 3 points out of this drive, that's for sure. But this is their chance. They finally have field position.
Schrader pulls out of the huddle, looks to the sidelines with his arms outstretched as if to say, I don't quite understand that play. Well, let's see if it works. He sends Fernandez and Brown in the slot to the right, Galt to the left with the tight end Horton.
Safety blitz.
And open is Galt. First down and more. Bounds at the 8-yard line. 18 yards. Schrader to Galt on 3rd and 10.
Well, we had a safety blitz. That time you'll see a man flying from here. But all Galt did was go down and hook. And he had a man breaking the outside, and the coverage broke down. It wasn't so much the pattern. You see Galt go down and stop. No one there. It looks as though the corner, in this case Ross, was just too deep. Never responded. Oh.
First and goal for the Raiders, actually at the 7-yard line. Smith with Marcus Allen in the backfield behind Schrader. Smith to the 4, almost the 3-yard line. Smith, who has not rushed for a touchdown this year.
I give Schrader a lot of credit here. He's got people all over him, right down the middle on him. Nice catch by Galt going inside again. And Ross just overplays it once the ball's thrown. That was the big we talked about. It's gotten the Raiders into the game.
Cold weather doesn't bother Gold, who wants to be an Olympic bobsledder. He's got 3 catches. He's to the left. 2nd and goal, Marcus Allen. Slashing off tackle inside the 2.
Marcus Allen on the carry.
Hackett down the bottom of the pile. Bill Moss got a piece of him.
You can almost count on Marcus going over the top here if that ball is within the 1-yard line. I don't think there's anybody better other than maybe Roger Craig of the 49ers at going up over the top. Great leaping ability and timing.
They take out the 2 wide receivers, Galt and Fernandez. James Fitzpatrick, 335 pounds, will play a tight end. Steve Wright will play a tight end as we come down the final seconds of, and now the end of the 3rd period. We'll be back after these messages from your local. The Raider organization now is 2nd year as head coach in a tough decision-making time. 3rd and goal at the 2. Already thinking ahead as coaches must to 4th down if they don't make it here.
It's just a little too far for Marcus to go over the top on. It's on the 2-yard line. If it were the 1, you'd almost be sure of what they do.
The Raiders have only 1 tight end. Mike Dial's on the injured list, so Horton plays 1 tight end. The tackle is eligible here. That's 66 Steve Wright. And Vance Mueller's the wing on the right. Smith, touchdown.
That was a call. And they run it right in. Look at this, right inside the tight end position. And Marcus Allen right there to make a block.
Well, that's a good point, Bill Walsh, that Marcus Allen, you talk to that cat, the coach's eye is caught by the fact he does everything, not afraid, and he's not a big guy, lanky, 205 pounds, but he really throws his body around. It's tied at 6 as Jeff Jaeger tries the point after. And the Raiders lead for the first time. 2 seconds into the 4th period, 7-6 Los Angeles. Not in the game on that drive. Jaeger to kick it off. Worthen and McNair deep. This one's going to go toward the sidelines markers and just out of bounds. So 35-yard line for Kansas City. Let's go to the Xerox 10-minute ticker.
49ers late in the game, but they're the team I pick to win their division.
Barry Word is the fullback. Now to Koye. DeBerg. Tight end. Roberts. Alfredo Roberts. The 46-yard line. He didn't get many chances. That's his 8th catch of the season. 20 yards.
DeBerg runs the fake to the inside to hold people with Word, then right up over the top to the tight end. So he tried to pull Benson up, and he did. Number 54 was fooled just for an instant. The tight end slipped behind him.
Not many big plays for the Chiefs offense today. In fact, that 20-yard game gets them near 100 yards. That's their longest play of the day. And here comes Word galloping into the open. 31-yard line. Oh, my.
Word is so effective once he gets into space because he's strong. He can break tackles. And that time he stretched the defense as designed and then turned on the jets between people.
Now, Barry Word, as you predicted, would be the key runner, not Christian Okoye. Using the no huddle here, the Chiefs, to keep the Raider defense on the field. Kansas City has engineered in the game. 13:30 to go, 4th quarter, 7-6 Raiders. There's the naked boot and the throw to Roberts. Cut down at the 25 by Tom Benson, and DeBerg really took a shot.
DeBerg is tough. He's the most mild-mannered, easygoing, affable, humorous guy. But when he gets serious, look at this. He had to go up and throw the ball, and Townsend was right up underneath him. But that's the only thing Steve could do, going to his left.
He has a wonderful sense of humor, good-natured fellow. He just loves playing. It's very apparent. Here's Word picking his hole, not getting much. A couple. Benson again in on the stop, along with Eddie Anderson. That'll bring up 3rd and short, about a yard, yard and a half. Word, of course, you know his story. He was a great player, ACC Player of the Year at Virginia, and late in his career there, involved in a cocaine charge that put him in prison for 4.5 months. And he said, you know, I was a boy then. I'm a 26-year-old man now. Kansas City, he'd been out of football, felt that he was worthy of a chance, and this has been a terrific surprise for the Chiefs.
Well, Word, the same explanation we get so often. He got in with the wrong people, and they just took him right down.
Okoye comes in, interestingly, on 3rd and short. Play action fake. DeBerg, and it's knocked down by Dan Land. Land, an extra defensive back, coming in with Benson. They were trying to go to the tight end Hayes in the right side. And on 4th and a long one, Lowry will try his 3rd field goal.
the Chiefs just didn't expect Land to blitz in that situation. He came from outside. There wasn't anyone there to pick him up, so he just timed it, jumped, and batted the ball down.
This one will be 44 yards. His 48-yarder earlier in the same direction was his longest of the season. Trying to make it 16 for 19 on the year and regain the lead for the Chiefs. And he does. Lowry, the star for the Chiefs. He's hit 3 solidly against tough conditions. And now with a 9-7 lead, plenty of time in the fourth. He squirts one down that front line, bobbled by Brown. And Ron Brown for the 26-27. Tackle by Jeff Donaldson. Tonight on NBC. Aboard. The gang in New York will keep you abreast of all the and highlights. So now the pressure to Jay Schrader and the Raiders. Bo Jackson draws the crowd after a gain of 1. Dan Saliamua was there first.
One of the problems with Bo now, of course, he doesn't have full command of everything they do. So they have to pick their spots with Jackson and what he can run, what he can't run. With Marcus Allen, of course, I keep saying of course, but Marcus Allen would assume has full command of what they do. So Bo is very limited in these situations.
They do indeed. The Raiders here. They love Bo in baseball, but he picked the wrong team to play football for. He automatically was the enemy when he put on the silver and black. Schrader drills incomplete.
Well, had what they wanted.
Will he
Couldn't
go?
get it done. Dan Saliamua dropped out from nose tackle that time into the hook zone. He does that about once or twice a game.
Well, at the Bears zone, he intercepted a pass last year in that position. Now 3rd down and 8.
You see Dan come all the way out of there into the zone defense and help out while trying to draw a blocker. There he comes running right back out of there looking for a hooking receiver.
Deron Cherry is now in the secondary for the Chiefs. That's Cherry his way up on the blitz. The pass caught by Horton. What a throw. Fumbles the ball. And J.C. Pearson can't cover it. And finally the Chiefs do at the 31-yard line. It's Pearson.
Beautiful throw. Couldn't ask for more from Jay Schrader. He just dropped that ball right over the top to Horton. He's got a full blitz. Hackett right down his throat. Beautiful throw down the field. Ball's knocked out of his hand.
Now another turnover. That's been the story of the game. 4 on the left, Lloyd Burris, the veteran from Maryland. He's the man who knocks it away with that hand. And finally, Pearson, 24, falls on it, and he had trouble controlling it.
Horton had completely beaten Derek Thomas, who was trying to cover him. And really, Burris missed a tackle, but he hadn't knocked the ball loose.
It's the same as a 40-yard punt. It's a 40-yard play, but City has it. Here's Barry Ward. And a flag goes down as Ward is out to the 37, and Jim Tunney, the referee, threw it, and that means 10 yards the other way.
Looked like Horton was trying to make even a bigger play, Dick, and he just didn't hold the ball. He tried to make people miss.
Holding 79 offense.
They get the rookie Zod again. He, like Bo Jackson, both were talking about, I guess it's new breed hunters, a lot of bow and arrow hunters. They're both talking about how they climb up in trees. And I can see you doing that, Bill.
Well, I could do it. I bought my daughter a set once at Christmas. It's got the thing on the end that sticks to the wall.
The pea shooter?
You look the end of it and it sticks on the wall.
Yeah. First down and 20. The Bird shouting something out to Thomas. Wide right. And dumps underneath. Well covered was Word by Tom Benson. Now the Chiefs have had some chances, have managed only 6 points out of their turnover possibilities. Of course, this one's still in question on 3rd and 20. Well, the Raiders got the one big turnover and picked up the big 7.
Neither team, of course, we pointed it out before, but neither team has practiced in this weather either. So both are suffering for the first ill effects of cold weather.
With 59 yards on the 10 completions for Kansas City. Second down with the penalty, 2nd and 20. Here comes Townsend. Almost intercepted by McDaniel, intended for Rob Thomas.
Rob Thomas saved an interception. It even could have been pass interference. He reached over and stopped the interception.
ENBERG really saw Townsend barreling in on him, and he threw and fell.
Now, this is a tough throw in a tough situation. But watch Rob right there. He breaks up. Because that interception could have cost them the game. A field goal at this point would have been 10-9 naturally. You see Townsend coming late. He's barreling. Woo!
Berg says, I'm out of here. Now 3rd and 20. The 21. And to McNair. Didn't fool the Raiders. A gain of a yard. Bill Packel, the veteran defensive tackle, got a piece of it, as did Jerry Robinson. And the punting team on with 10:25 to go. And an injured Chief the ball carrier McNair.
Well, it's a classic game from the standpoint of the intensity of both teams.
McNair, a valuable
at home.
Here's Barker. High but short. Brown, no fair catch at the 49. And he gets back to the 48 of Kansas City, and a timeout with 10 minutes plus remaining. 2-point Chiefs lead. It's a major part of the tradition of this rivalry. 0-0. Jim Otto, the Hall of Fame center. Oh, you just knew that he was plugged in for 15 years. Ottowood center.
People think he's, many people say he's the best center to ever play the game. Because he had great technique, body position.
And Upshaw guard and Shell a tackle. Go left Raiders of those days. Trailing 9-7. 10 minutes plus left in the game, and Schrader starts at the Chief 49. He's looking long. Fernandez. Oh, what! Didn't bring it in. Looked as if he made a tough catch at the 10-yard line. Kevin Ross on the coverage. Ross from Temple. He saw you yesterday and called you president. President Walsh.
I guess it looked like an aging politician. I don't know. But he, once he opens up with you, what a different kind of guy. The first time you meet him, you think a little surly, a little defensive. But after we've gotten to know him, he's so out.
Marvin Hagler lookalike.
Yeah.
He brings 31 kids. His number 31 from the YMCA to every Kansas City home game. Bump there by Ross, and that was a little more than a touch.
They are after Ross. Looks like Ross helps himself a little bit here with his left hand.
Well, that's the trick. Look for the ball. It's okay to push.
No harm done. But he has been tested today 4 or 5 times by the fastest people in the game.
That ball may have been ruled just uncatchable, even with a push. Fernandez couldn't get to it. Todd McNair just had the wind knocked out of him. He should return for Kansas City. 3rd and 10. Dropped by Ross right in his hands. As Tim Brown ran by, Ross sitting right there. Had a lock on his 4th interception of the season. He has 8 in his career just against the Raiders. In fact, in his first game as a rookie against the Raiders here, he intercepted a pass and went some 71 yards for a touchdown.
He just didn't expect that ball. The ball was thrown, I think, over Horton's head. Or no, I think over Gall's head. There it is. Over Gall's head, way over his head. It just got away from Jay.
That was the 5th drop of a Schrader pass today. Well, the Raiders unable to pick up a first down on 3 passes. Drive, Wortham. Ooh, at the 20-yard line. Good tackle by Ricky Hundley.
Hundley's a much-traveled guy. He's been in and out of rosters recently. He's got all you want physically, but just not consistent enough as a linebacker. Just doesn't read blocks well enough. But he's made some great plays today on special teams.
Yeah, we're in November now, and the weather reflects it down in the 30s here in Kansas City. And look ahead to the second half of the season. It's been a richer season, and not many of them have their pockets full of gold.
Oh, gee.
No, go ahead, call it.
What do you
see
say?
it. From the 20. Word, a big hole. And a gain of 11 or 12 before Mike Harden can make the tackle. Oh, were you right at the very start of the telecast saying that it wouldn't be Okoye today, it would be Word the key to the Kansas City offense. And there's the numbers right to this point. Twice the yardage nearly for Word and less carries as Okoye stands on the sidelines. Just more mobile and quick with the blocks. Word. Well, there wasn't much there. He made his own hole and 8 more yards. Eddie Anderson, the tackler.
Raiders are being blocked right now. They're starting to get blocked. And they're working so hard to get to the ball that they're being rushed by the play itself. And you see some good people there. You see Howie Long coming to the outside. And Baldinger pushing him to the outside. No, that's
Lutz.
Lutz, yeah. Pushing him to the outside and the ball coming underneath.
Ward, a big man at 235, but with speed. You know, he made the Olympic trials in '84 in the hurdles, 110-meter hurdles. He's trying to be the final word. Out to the 44. First down. This is just what Kansas City's Marty Schottenheimer loves the best. Ball control. Eat up the clock. 9-7. Protect that slender lead.
Well, this is his kind of game. If they were to win it, you'd say that's the scenario I want to see the rest of the year. Bad weather, play excellent special teams, and wear the other guy out.
Going for play action throw here in the first half. What do I know about Huck? To the 47, maybe the 48. Gain of 4 before Bob Golick could get in from his nose tackle position. Golick, half Alzado, half Mutuzak type. He really fits that Raider gear.
It's interesting how a player can be rejected by one team. This plan B and turn around and play his best football with the next team.
For Marty Schottenheimer in Cleveland. Second and a short 7.
There's the play fake.
This is short. One hops it to Rob Thomas, and a flag is down.
Fredo Roberts was on the ground, and he and the official were exchanging on what just happened. So you've got to think he was the guy guilty.
87. Illy use of the hands. Still second down.
Alfredo.
What hurts here is there's Townsend, one of the toughest guys in the league to block. And he pushes him from behind past the ball.
This is not your favorite dish. Holding
right
Alfredo.
At the feet of the umpire or the referee.
Final first of the day. Dolphins go 7-1. A 23-3 victory against the Cardinals at home. Miami's defense has really improved tremendously.
Right in the top of the NFL, allowing a field goal today. Too much time, so there's another foul.
ENBERG is upset. Look at him. Look at his own sideline. He's mad.
5 yards.
The play's too late coming in. That's what it was. Look at him.
He's giving it the Bubby Brister Kansas City version.
Well, Steve's got full command of everything they're doing. I mean, right now, he's calling the line blocking itself, telling people who's rookie linemen who to block and how.
Play now the fullback on 2nd and 22. And he gets about 5 out to the 37-yard line. Bill Patel makes the tackle, and we check the other scores. Joe Montana to Brent Jones, and Pittsburgh opening their lead against Atlanta's 3 field goals. 3rd and 16. Down the field, incomplete. Emil Harry, the closest red jersey.
You know, the crowd boos. They want more action. But Steve just took about 4 seconds off the clock with that incomplete pass. They weren't going to get the first down. Best to run it and use as much clock as you can, then punt the ball.
6 minutes and 18 seconds left in the 4th quarter. The Raiders are within a field goal of victory. 9-7. Barker's 8th punt. Pretty good kick. Tim Brown at the 23. And to the 36-yard line, the former Heisman Award winner. 6:07. Schrader comes on the field with the offense. Well, we'll see that Miami Dolphin defense, #1 in the National Football League, will be part of the coverage on NFL Live at 12:30 prior to our NBC coverage of the NFL next day.
#1 defense, I think, in the league, Miami. It's hard to believe, isn't it? But just some personnel changes. Maybe it's the schedule. I don't know.
I think they helped themselves with Plan B too, Bill.
Oh, sure. You got people healthy, but it'll be next week just to see how far they have come.
36-yard line for Schrader and the Raiders. Bo. Deron Cherry gets enough of him to get him toward the sidelines and out of bounds, and then Kevin Ross getting the worst of the deal. There's Cherry. He's played 12-15 plays. That was the plan.
He's still favoring that knee a little bit. You know, he has gone full speed in practice. But the game is like a boxer sparring and then having a bout. It's quite a bit of difference. But it looks like he's favoring it just a little bit there. I don't blame him. And it does have that
Lennox
right. It does have the brace on it.
Hill knee brace. Left knee. Bo again to the 45-yard line. That'll maybe the 46. It's going to be close to a first down. Boy, Jackson thought he had something big on that play.
He did. That was the first real move he's made. And in comes Marcus.
3rd down and less than a yard, and it'll be Marcus Allen, the 5-time Pro Bowler, who comes in.
Marcus has a charisma about him. He's a magnetic person. Whether he's playing or not, people really are just attracted to him. Sort of a serene leadership, you know. I'm assuming he's going over the top here.
Easily to midfield in the first down. Again, when they need yardage, they run off that left side. That's where Bruce Wilkerson is blocking with Steve Wisniewski.
You know, Derek Thomas has not been, his name hasn't been called. And I haven't watched that closely, but he hasn't been a major factor in the game. And visiting with Al Davis, I think, oh, that's a good charge by him. But visiting with Al Davis, he feels that playing these kind of guys, they may make a big play or two. You just hope it's not at the right time, but you don't get preoccupied with them. You don't worry about them the entire game.
Smith for almost 4. Trouble holding onto the ball, and some of the Chiefs acting as though they thought he might have fumbled.
It's not official. The crowd reacting to the Chiefs pointing, and Jim Tunney has 1 vote against 11, but his really counts. It says second down. Looked like number 97, Saliamua, down low, trying to yank it free. There he is. Boy, that's a collision. Oh, yeah,
that is out of there, isn't it?
That is a fumble, and they're not reviewing it, surprisingly. Why are they not reviewing that play? Now they are. Now there's a case where obviously until we showed that replay, there was no evidence for them to call down for the review. Now just the human error, or let's say our elite down in the truck, Gonzalez and Ferratzis, our director and producer, hadn't gotten that tape up in time, the play would have gone off and there would not have been a chance for this to be reviewed. Now you have to think Kansas City will get the ball.
Well, you can see why the officials wouldn't see it. You can understand it. But when you see this replay, the ball does come out of there before he's just behind him at that point.
Well, that's just Saliamua's power, just tying him up, pulling his arms, strength against strength.
The boys club, he had his picture of the boys club. And when he was a youngster growing up.
Who was the picture on the wall when he was growing up? Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen, of course. Marcus being from San Diego.
The play stands.
Uh-oh. Oh, my. Oh, my. I've never liked the instant replay, but I must be going blind. Second down and 6. The Raiders with a huge break still have the ball, and Allen gets to the 44. It'll be 3rd and 4. Final score, Saints 21, Cincinnati 7. So Cincinnati finally gets home, meets a team they thought they could beat. But New Orleans in this season, where you just don't know, other than the 6 teams that are really above the pack, 7-0, 6-1, all the rest tough to figure. They're going to respot the ball. They've been kicked forward an extra yard. 3rd and 4. Not necessarily a passing down for the Raiders. Broken up by Albert Lewis. Mervin Fernandez and Lewis with those long arms able to reach in there again.
Well, he went to the well one too many times. They've run that same slant play about 5 times, coming back underneath with a tight end dragging into the flat. Lewis was all over it.
4th down, punting team on. 3:16 left, and Archell has to be thinking about, in this field position, do we go for the 1st down or the punt? It's almost a time where you try the fake or you try to get an offside.
Well, Gossett's got to get that thing inside the 10-yard line. That'll force those Chiefs to run very simple inside plays the rest of the game.
Delay.
Oh, that's a delay of game, and that takes him back. That's not really going to matter. I think probably Archell hoped something might happen where he'd get an offside, but they really never got in position to draw Kansas City
Maybe they just
off.
need that distance to more accurately kick it out. Just move back just a little bit.
Here come the Chiefs. Now they bring in a whole new scheme, and this is the group that likes to block punt, not the one that's going to play it protectively. He had his bigger lineman in there just in case it was a fake. Now he brings in his speed, and the blockers are in there. And they've got 5 this year, including one key block by Kevin Porter today that led to a field goal. And Lewis is the man that really draws attention. Worthen, no fair catch. Down immediately at the 17-yard line with 3:08 left. Kansas City by 2. Let's go to Bob. Barry Ward is the man that Marty Schottenheimer's going to go with to try to run out the clock with 3:08 left. He gains 8.
Well, he's going to stretch that defense and bounce outside. You can almost see it coming. The Raiders just didn't get a safety man into that play, Dick. There was no defensive back. There wasn't any to support it. So he had room to run.
Very little to say about this Kansas City offense today, except one word. Very. He's been it, and it's come at the time where Kansas City had lost the lead. Doesn't get the first down there. Only a yard. Brings up 3rd and 1. And Jerry Robinson spends one of Archell's timeouts. 2:13 to go. Kansas City with the ball and the 2-point baseball carryover, but you can put Barry on the other cheek for Barry Word. Word leads all ball carriers, 77 yards, 53 in the 4th quarter. It was the 4th quarter when he tore up Detroit in that 200-yard game. It's 3rd and 1, and on the 3rd and very short yardage, Schottenheimer has gone to Okoye.
Well, this is the key play of the game. I've said that 3 or 4 times, but it boils down to this.
.2:13 remaining. Raiders have used one of their 3 timeouts. First down. And only Terry McDaniel was left there from a touchdown. 2-minute timeout, and the Raiders in big trouble now.
Brother.
This is mine. I'm taking this one home in case it's cold in San Diego.
San Diego.
Third down play went to Okoye. He gained 5, and with it 4 more downs for the Chiefs. 2 minutes to spend, and they have a most important and a highly desirous victory against the front-running Los Angeles Raiders. Raiders have 2 timeouts. They cannot allow another down, or this game is over.
ENBERG using that snap count.
No flag. It appeared Townsend might have been leaning offside. Ward, look at the power! 9 yards for Barry Ward.
Some excellent blocking on the outside. Stephon Page does a fine job on the corner, and Ward just gets all that momentum build up and rolls people back out of there.
Mike Harden, a veteran safety man, just pushed back 3 yards by Ward on a 9-yard carry to the 39, and the timeout called by the Raiders and to run out the clock. A yard. Oh, it's surprising Ward doing so well that he wouldn't stay with his hot runner. There's the final timeout. That gives us a chance to thank all the men and women who Thanksgiving Sunday right after Thanksgiving in the rematch. Here it is, 3rd and 1. Okoye. He blasts through, and that'll mean a Kansas City victory. All they have to do is hang on to the ball.
Wasn't any doubt on that one. Okoye just took people back. He broke at least 2 tackles to get his yardage.
Well, he's been a warrior, this Steve DeBerg. So many teams, the repairman, 49ers and Denver, Tampa Bay. He's the man in Kansas City this year.
And you know, ENBERG has never really played poorly.
There's the final snap, executed cleanly. And this rivalry, not high scoring, but certainly defensively intense. And the ground game ultimately for Marty Schottenheimer was good enough to win, thanks to Barry Word, who leaves with 86 yards rushing. Nick Lowry, 3 big field goals for all the scoring. And Duron Cherry, as you saw there, his first game off an injury since last December, forced a Bo Jackson fumble for one of those field goals. So our final score today, the Chiefs 9, the Raiders 7. Stay tuned. Second.